I'm shocked that it goes that far.
Well, sometimes it's the small things that can make a big difference. And so let's talk mini drivers. Welcome into Studio X. I'm joined by Golf Town's Director of Instruction, Kyle Gordon. Kyle, mini drivers are the hottest trend in golf right now. So my very first question to you is, what exactly is a mini driver?
It is a club that's moved itself into a pretty unique niche in the market. A lot of players are introducing this club that, they found that maybe they didn't hit 3-wood off the ground really well, or they didn't hit it at all off the ground. So that club was really in their bag for off the tee only. This provides them with a little bit of a bigger club, a little bit more of a fairway finder because it's a little easier to hit, and just really works for that player.
Oftentimes we take our cues from the pros, and obviously the pros are starting to utilize mini drivers as well. Players like Tommy Fleetwood, Ricky Fowler, Adam Scott have them in their bags right now. So if the pros are using them, obviously there are benefits to the average golfer as well.
Yeah, exactly. So this isn't a new thing. Mini drivers have been around for longer than some may know, but we're definitely seeing more vendors jump into the game here. This is the biggest year for mini drivers ever, and a little bit more options. And you're seeing these things look a lot like drivers with movable weights, adjustability. So these really do work for everybody that's looking for something to be a little bit safer to hit off the tee, and just be a little bit more comfortable. For maybe that's somebody that hits a big slice, you'll hit this a little straighter.
Kyle, when would the average golfer like myself, when would we utilize a mini driver?
I think the mini driver comes into play when there's a little bit more pressure to hit the fairway. So if a hole is narrowing down at that distance that you hit your driver, and 3-wood may not be enough, the mini driver is going to get you a little bit more distance down the fairway. These create a little bit more backspin, which keeps it more in play. So if you're feeling discomfort on a tee shot or in a pressure match and you've got to hit the fairway, that's a great time to hit.
Is there an option to use the mini driver off the deck? I know some players like hitting driver off the deck in certain situations. Is the mini driver a good option for that?
Again, DOD is a thing now. People are talking about driver off the deck a lot, and there's some players that utilize it in play all the time. That shot calls a big demand for the player. So if you can hit 3-wood off the deck normally, comfortably, and not really top it too often, mini driver off the deck is going to be something that you can do as well. Someone that struggles hitting tops off of 3-woods and hybrids, probably not going to be the easiest club for them to hit. But these manufacturers are designing this to be hit off the tee and off the ground.
We have 4 examples of mini drivers here with us today. The GT280 from Titleist, Callaway's Mini Elyte Driver, the TaylorMade R7, and the PXG Secret Weapon. Let's talk a little bit about each of these and maybe some of the features of them.
Looking at these, really, we're seeing a lot of similar characteristics that are in the drivers these days. We've got adjustable sleeves on all of the drivers behind us, and we also have movable weights to place the CG. So, for perspective here, here's the R7, the new TaylorMade version. We've got the movable weights that you would see similar to the driver. We've got the adjustable sleeve that is the exact same. And then we've got the speed pocket, which is designed really for those low face shots to get them up in the air. What I'm going to do is bring in a comparison here to show you the difference in head size. So this is the standard QI35 Core 3-wood. We're going to show them side by each here, where you can see definite difference in the shape and size. If we move to the face-on view here, here's really where it's going to come down to. If you feel a little bit nervous hitting a 3-wood off the tee because it is a pretty small head, you look at the size of the face on this one comparison, be a little bit more comfort hitting this off the tee.
All right, so you've compared the R7 mini driver to the QI35 3-wood. Now let's take a look at the size comparison to the actual QI35 driver.
Yeah, so looking down on them, you're gonna see a different footprint. It does mimic a driver. It looks very much like a smaller driver from back in the day. Really face-wise and head-wise, they're all a little bit different. The CCs on all the heads behind us here are a different size, but they're really looking to provide a club that's a little bit more comfortable to hit for certain players. You're gonna find a lot of players that struggle hitting driver and or slice or curve the ball too much, moving into this as a safety net.
Yeah, you mentioned about comfort, and that's a good jumping off point. And when we talk about shafts as well, the shaft is a little shorter, obviously, in a mini driver as well. And what's the purpose of that?
Yeah, again, this is going to come down to a little bit more control. Players have a little bit more control with shorter clubs in the bag versus longer ones. The trend with driver length is actually going longer and longer to try and hit the ball as far as possible. This is going to be around 3-wood length, which is 43 and a half is a normal 3-wood length. So this is going to feel like you're a little bit closer to your work, give you a little bit more control and comfort, hit every fairway when you're playing.
So you're giving up a little bit of distance with a mini driver, but you're gaining that control.
Exactly. So this is a different loft. So your driver lofts range from anywhere from kind of 8.5 all the way up to 12-degree drivers now. Most of these are going to hover in around 13 with adjustability. You can go down or up. There's some even stronger than that. So you're definitely going to give up ball speed to the driver because of the difference in loft, but the control is where you're going to make up for it.
All right, Kyle, so to wrap up, the mini driver is a great option for a lot of different types of players.
Yeah, I think really there's kind of two main categories here. Players that really hit it far off the tee, that are seeking more control, and then players that really just don't use their 3-wood as often from an intimidation standpoint. Not quite comfortable with it off the tee or off the ground. A little bit of a bigger club head to hit, more options for them to use.
You want to hit a couple?
Let's go for it. Honestly, it's going farther than I thought it was going to go. It just feels like, so being a little bit of a shorter shaft, it's a little bit different to get used to looking down on this. I had to figure out how to tee it, right? To figure where you're going to hit it on the face. But it doesn't feel like that uncomfortable, it's just different. I actually feel like I can go after it a little bit, but it's nice to see it. That's like hitting out at 250, getting to 260 easily. But I think there's another gear where you can get it up there.
How does it feel at address? I
feel like I can just roll to the first tee without really hitting any practice shots or warm up and be comfortable with teeing this up and knowing I'm going to find a fairway. Right?
Gives you that confidence, right?
Exactly. I feel confident setting this thing down and being able to just take a rip at it and know that it's going to be out there and play.
Beautiful.
It's really good.
Hey, who doesn't want to hit the first fairway of the day? Huh?
I'm shocked that it goes that far.
284.
Like realistically, these are driver ball speed numbers. I play a 10-degree driver. This is at 11.5. I mean, I'm pretty happy to see those numbers. I thought it was gonna spin a little bit more. This is spinning just slightly higher than what my driver would spin at. So it's spinning at about 3,000, which is relatively normal for a 3-wood type of number, but this thing's a little bit of a fairway finder, that's for sure. I was pretty easy to hit off the ground, to be honest.
Nothing wrong with that.
153 ball speed off the ground versus 155 ball speed off the tee. That's pretty fast. So, I mean, to really set this up as like an anti-slice fairway finder, I'm gonna put it on the draw setting, gonna tilt it a little bit more upright. And to really make it a monster, I'm actually gonna move the CG shifter over here as well. But when you move the weight over into the heel like this, it's gonna give you a little bit more of an ability to square the face up.
So that's the beauty of these mini drivers. That like regular drivers, they're all adjustable to you.
Yeah, so you're going to see differences per the vendors from what they're providing, but this is a very similar CG shifter to the driver. We're gonna move the CG over into the heel here, help you square up the face, very similar technology. Hyped it.
Well, I definitely didn't slice it.
Like that's the pound for pound shot I want you to hit out on the golf course.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of straight pull, got a little bit of a curve to it, but that's in play all day.
I'd be very happy with that.
There you go.
Very high launch.
I mean, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do, right?
Yep. So that was the Callaway Mini Elyte. What do you have for me now?
We're gonna hit the GT280. Same adjustable sleeve as the driver. You can move the movable weight either front or back, right? The heavier one being in the front is gonna be a little bit faster ball speed, a lower ball flight. In the back is gonna be the most stable setting. So I've got this set up in the back.
Oh, I love that. There we go.
That'll play.
Okay.
Good.
Love the Titleist. What else do we have?
All right, we got the Secret Weapon here. Let's give this a whack.
Oh, the PXG's Secret Weapon. Not so secret anymore.
That was good.
Wow, it felt great too. You're right about the confidence.
Tee it up, hit it, right?
Yep. Kyle, there's so many things to like about mini drivers and so many options to choose from.
You got to find the right one for you. This is called the Secret Weapon from PXG. I think you need to, try a few of these. It speaks to custom fit. These will be available in our Studio X locations across Canada, available on our website as well. Find the right one for you.
Yeah, the mini driver, try one out. You might be majorly surprised.